Once upon a time, in a kingdom ruled by wise kings and strategic generals, there was a game that not only tested the mind but also told stories of ancient battles, power struggles, and brilliant victories. This was the game of chess, a game that originated many centuries ago in a land where scholars, soldiers, and rulers all came together to sharpen their wits and practice the art of strategy. The game's origins were shrouded in mystery, and many believed it had been passed down from the gods themselves. The legend of chess is often told in whispers and half-forgotten tales, passed from generation to generation. It is said that the game was not always just a game, but a divine challenge meant to prepare kings for the greatest battle of all, leadership itself. However, one particular story stands out, a tale so extraordinary that it has lived on for centuries as a testament to the power of the mind, the importance of sacrifice, and the fate of a kingdom that rested on the shoulders of a single game. The story begins with a young boy named Andor who lived in a small village at the edge of the kingdom. His father was a simple farmer, and though Andor was born into a life of toil, he had always shown an exceptional talent for thinking ahead, for seeing things that others missed. As a child, Andor would often watch his father and the other villagers as they played their games of chess. While others struggled with the rules and the movements of the pieces, Andor could see the game's deeper meaning. It was more than just a game of kings and warriors, it was a way of thinking, a way of life. One day, as Andor was walking through the village square, he noticed a group of travelers gathered around an old man who was setting up a chessboard. The travelers were from distant lands, their clothes rich with colors and symbols Andor had never seen before. The old man's eyes sparkled with a wisdom that made the air around him seem charged with mystery. "Come, young one," the old man beckoned, sensing Andor's curiosity. "Would you like to test your wits against me?" Andor, though only a boy of 13, felt something stir inside him. He had played chess before, but never against someone like this, someone who seemed to hold an endless depth of knowledge. With a mixture of excitement and nervousness, Andor accepted the challenge. The game began, and as the pieces moved across the board, Andor quickly realized that he was facing someone far beyond his skill. The old man's moves were not just about tactics, they were about something deeper, something more intuitive. The old man played as if he could see the entire board at once, every possibility, every future move, and every potential sacrifice. Andor, however, did not shrink in fear. Instead, he embraced the challenge, determined to learn. With every move, Andor found himself thinking more deeply. He asked questions, observing the old man's reactions, and tried to understand the rhythm of the game. The game stretched on 4 hours, with the two players locked in a fierce contest of intellect and will. By the time the sun began to set, Andor realized he was close to losing, but instead of feeling defeated, he felt something else, awe. The old man looked at him with a smile that seemed to speak of something beyond words. "You are a quick learner," the old man said, "but you must understand, chess is not just about victory, it is about understanding the cost of each move, the consequences of every action. A true master sees the entire board, not just the pieces in front of them." With those words, the old man stood up and walked away, leaving Andor with the chessboard and a mind full of questions. The villagers gathered around Andor, congratulating him on his courage, but the boy's thoughts were elsewhere. He could not forget the old man's words, and he began to play again and again, each game more intense than the last, each move a question he desperately wanted answered. Weeks passed, and Andor's skills grew rapidly. He practiced day and night, alone in his room, until the villagers began to take notice. Word spread of the young boy's exceptional talent, and soon, even the local chess masters were seeking him out for games. But it wasn't just about winning. For Andor, chess became a way of understanding life itself. The strategy, the foresight, the sacrifices, it all mirrored the choices people made every day. One fateful day, the king of the kingdom, a wise but aging ruler named King Ulrich, heard of Andor's talent. The king, whose mind had once been sharp but had dulled with age, decided that Andor might be the one to help him win a crucial battle, one that would determine the fate of the kingdom. The king sent for Andor, and the boy, now 16, made his way to the palace. When he arrived, the king explained the situation. An enemy force was gathering at the borders, and the kingdom's generals were divided on the best course of action. Some believed they should meet the enemy head-on, while others thought they should retreat and regroup. The king himself was unsure what to do. It was then that he had an idea. Perhaps the boy who had learned so much from the game of chess could offer a solution to the kingdom's greatest challenge. "I need you to help me decide, young Andor," King Ulrich said. "The future of this kingdom may depend on your decision." Andor was nervous. He had never been asked to make such an important decision. But deep down, he knew that the lessons of chess had prepared him for this moment. He studied the king's map, looked at the position of the enemy, and considered the strengths and weaknesses of his own forces. After a long moment of thought, Andor spoke. "The battle, your majesty, is not one of brute force alone," Andor said carefully. "It is a game of strategy. You must sacrifice something small to gain something much greater. The generals will want to fight for honor, for glory, but you must make them see that victory is more than just winning a battle. It is about securing the kingdom's future." Andor suggested a plan that involved feigning a retreat to lure the enemy into a vulnerable position. The enemy, believing the kingdom was weak and retreating, would follow, only to find themselves ambushed at a moment when they were most vulnerable. It was a risky plan, but it was also brilliant. The king, though hesitant at first, trusted Andor's judgment. He ordered the generals to prepare the strategy as the boy had laid out. The battle would soon begin. As the enemy army approached the kingdom's borders, the tension was palpable. The people of the kingdom held their breath, and even the bravest generals felt uncertain. But Andor's plan unfolded with precision. The enemy, thinking they had won, chased the retreating forces into a narrow valley. And when they reached the heart of the trap, the kingdom's full force emerged from the shadows, surrounding the enemy on all sides. The battle that followed was fierce, but Andor's strategy proved to be genius. The enemy was overwhelmed, their forces scattered, and the kingdom emerged victorious. When the dust settled, King Ulrich looked at Andor with awe. "You have saved the kingdom," the king said, his voice filled with gratitude. "Not through strength, but through wisdom." Andor, ever humble, simply nodded. "It was not I who won the battle, your majesty. It was the lessons of chess, the understanding that sometimes victory comes not from direct confrontation, but from patience, foresight, and sacrifice." The kingdom rejoiced in their victory, and Andor's name became known throughout the land. His story, like the game of chess itself, became a legend, one of intelligence, strategy, and the enduring power of the mind. And though Andor went on to become a great leader and advisor to kings, he never forgot the lesson of that first game, the game where everything began. For Andor, the game of chess was not just a game, it was a way of life, a reflection of the challenges and choices that shape the world. As Andor's tale spread across the kingdom, it became more than just a story of a boy who saved his kingdom through the power of chess. It became a symbol of how the right mindset, careful thought, and wise decisions can change the course of history. His journey taught everyone, from the humblest villager to the greatest of kings, that true strength lies not in brute force, but in the ability to see beyond the immediate, to understand the sacrifices required for greater gain, and to act with wisdom even when the stakes are highest. In the end, Andor's story wasn't just about a game of chess, it was about life itself. Every move we make, every decision, whether big or small, carries consequences. The game of chess, like life, challenges us to think ahead, to consider the bigger picture, and to realize that sometimes, victory comes not through overwhelming power, but through patience, strategy, and sacrifice. And so, the legend of Andor lives on, not only as a great victory of war, but as a reminder that true mastery is not simply about winning, it's about understanding. Understanding how to read the board of life, how to adapt when the unexpected happens, and how to lead with both heart and mind. And like the game of chess itself, his story continues to inspire all who play, all who lead, and all who dare to think one move ahead. The lessons of Andor remind us that every challenge we face, whether on the battlefield, in our personal lives, or in the choices we make, is a game of strategy. And it is our ability to think deeply, to learn from the past, and to approach each move with care that truly shapes our future. Remember this, the game is never truly over. Every day is another move, another opportunity to think ahead, to adapt, and to overcome. Just like the pieces on a chessboard, we all have a role to play. And with each thoughtful move, we write our own stories of triumph, wisdom, and strategy. The end? Or is it just the beginning? And that's a wrap on today's legendary tale. We hope you enjoyed the journey of Andor and the timeless lessons of chess. If you found inspiration in his story and the power of strategic thinking, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more incredible stories, epic tales, and life lessons from the world of chess and beyond. Stay tuned for more, and remember, each new day is a fresh game, full of endless possibilities. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Subscribe now, and don't miss out on more exciting content.